Hey everyone, it's actually insane how far some people go for their psychopathic interests or just for video ideas that they want to get on YouTube and they think it's gonna blow up and get them a shit ton of views. Typically, these are people that are already off the rail and they're not in the right place mentally. So whatever idea they think is is awesome and rad would make other people be like, why would I want to see that? That's awful. But with them, they're like, but there's very clearly a big untapped market that, if I put my video out there, people will clearly flock to it, no matter how dumb it is. There are numerous examples you can pull off from the old days of YouTube or the internet, where it was legitimately a Wild West. You could have a Go video on a public website and it would get popular because people are shocked by it. But this example I'm going to talk about today is more recent, but it's just more insane. Not just because the idea, but also the backstory of who made it and why, deep down, why they felt compelled to do it. Because this kid could be insane or just very relaxed. He doesn't care if he gets arrested, who cares? I found the most bizarre video ever on my For You page, and thankfully it was weird, but it did have some context with the caption where it read, but the video shows a train being derailed and you can hear in the background something you're like, oh my god, that's crazy. And it's so, because you wouldn't expect it because the camera's on a tripod, it's very stable, but it's clearly some guy behind the camera. So it's not like security footage where it happened at the moment. Some guy set up a camera knowing that this is gonna happen. And when I mean derail, it's not a comical, film kind of derail where it goes sideways. No, it just hits another empty cargo trailer where it doesn't sound like that would stop it, but because of the sheer weight of something, so just standing still and a train coming in contact, that would be enough to stop it and slightly move it off the rail. Not completely turning it sideways, but enough to actually, get it off balance.
Oh my freaking god! Oh my god, are they okay?
But with something like this, an actual train being derailed, the guy recording, after he turned off the camera, he actually did call the police to come investigate. And that's where the story takes a turn, because the caption for this video wasn't just train derailment calling camera. No, it was a teenage YouTuber in Nebraska just ruined his life for a little bit of clout. He was charged Wednesday with 2 felonies and faces up to 7 years in prison. And you're like, what happened? Because it does seem in the video, just by that all he did was just record on camera. Until you look more into the story and realize that not only did this 17-year-old clearly do it, but he left so many moronic mistakes behind that he was begging to be caught actually. Let me just read off a few key parts from this article because it is insane and funny. The 17-year-old, who has not been identified because of his age, posted a 5-minute video of the April 21 derailment in Bennett. So I'm guessing that's when it happened and now he's being charged and calling it the most insane video I've ever taken. See, now that's funny, because that really sounds like he's a big up YouTuber that makes hundreds of videos that's, high quality. But this train derailment video, this is his masterpiece. With that video title, it really sounds like, he caught a street fight out of nowhere and he was just lucky enough to be there. But when you look at the actual video, it's so clear he had the camera on a tripod and he was potentially sitting back on a lawn chair waiting for this moment to happen. So it wasn't created by accident. You don't just sit around a train yard waiting for a derailment. It does show that he was somewhat expecting it, as he filmed 2 locomotives and 5 fully loaded rail cars come off the rails but remain upright after hitting an empty one, costing $350,000 in damage. Oh my god, it doesn't seem like that much because they still stood up, they didn't fall down. But I guess it's the damage to the train engine and also all the stuff behind them that just got shook and maybe some of them broke. That goes to be from the scheduling issues. Because yeah, some trains won't plan to have a derailment, so they have to be holed up until this issue could be fixed. But even then, small changes or small issues that make them wait a day could fuck them over financially, because they had plans that you change it and now they have to pay that back. Nobody was hurt, thankfully, but I'm sure if they did, their injuries or death would be actually money and make the whole mess much bigger. The teen was first to report the derailment. That's the first weird part. I mean, he was there at the scene, that makes sense. and even approached an investigator at the scene to show him the footage. He was charged Wednesday, I think they mean this Wednesday or last week Wednesday, after investigators obtained a search warrant to seize a cell phone and a 4K digital recorder he used to film the wild footage. The fact that it was a 4K camera and now, just his phone, he had something planned. He was hit with 2 counts of criminal mischief, causing damage more than $50,000, both felonies. Penalties could include a $15,000 fine and up to 7 years in prison on each count. Now, that sounds really harsh, but just be patient and wait for the actual evidence against him, because it looks bad. A train conductor told investigators that as his train approached the crossing, he noticed a switch was misaligned. He tried to make an emergency stop, but couldn't do so before reaching the spot where the missing switch should have been. When authorities said they didn't know the cause of derailment, the boy replied, "Obviously, a switch was flipped the wrong way." The investigator later found that padlock that was supposed to be attached to the switch was missing, indicating that it had been tampered with. Ooh. The boy denied trespassing in the area and tampering with the switch, but the investigator wrote that he knew what the switch was and how it worked. Everything is stacking up more and more against them. Authorities later went through surveillance video from the area and discovered a vehicle and a lone driver traveling around the area just before the derailment. The footage showed a beige 1996 some car traveling in the area before the 17-year-old male was seen walking on the south side of the tracks toward the switch, according to the affidavit, what that says. A motion has been filed to move the case from juvenile court to county court. There you go. Oh my god. There has to be way more evidence, because Jesus Christ. I feel like later in the future, when he does get arrested or released, they can talk about what more stuff they discovered, or maybe stuff that the kid used to defend himself, because there was a lot of stuff that seemed too suspicious, and that you couldn't really use the explanation that the kid just happened to be there. The best explanation that kid could have used on why he wanted to record the footage was that he worked there and he happened to just see it at exact that moment. It wasn't his fault. But it just seems so insane that he trespassed for the specific reason to just set up a camera and record as it happened. And you can tell as well that from where he was recording, he was at a safe distance where if it did, derail massively, like going sideways, he'd be, far away enough that it wouldn't hurt him. I've seen people break into a train yard, do train spotting, they get on a train and they travel across the country without paying. But this guy, the energy I'm getting from this 17-year-old, from this kid, is that he's really autistic for trains. Not only did he capture this video, his most insane video, but he clearly had a modicum of knowledge about locomotives for him to tamper the switch and give that reply to the police being obviously it was tampered with. That incident wouldn't be enough to get him arrested, but it was the actual camera footage of him driving up to the place and tampering with it. And if there was a lock, clearly the people that worked there, actual employees, they secure with it and they put a lock on it. The lock was missing, so clearly this guy, he had some tool to cut it off and then drive away and then come back an hour later to actually get the footage. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, like I said before, he's clearly sitting down on a lawn chair before he picks up the camera and walks to the accident. So clearly he knew where it was, but he didn't know the train schedule. So he sat down, got the footage he wanted, and then went home. Or he didn't go home, he called the police, and that led to the whole downfall. I feel if he definitely lived close enough that the police could have found him from the camera footage and still got him arrested like an actual moron.